Most drivers are throwing hundreds of dollars at mechanics every single year for problems they could have fixed themselves in under 10 minutes. For free, no tools, no parts, no appointment needed. And the worst part? The mechanics know about this. They have always known. They just never tell you. Today, that changes. Introduction. Here is something nobody in the auto industry wants you to figure out on your own. Your car has a computer, a brain, and just like the laptop or phone you use every single day, sometimes that brain gets confused. It stores old errors, holds onto bad data, and starts making decisions that hurt your engine, your fuel economy, and your wallet. When that happens, most people do what they have been trained to do. They drive to a shop, they hand over their keys, and they walk out with a bill somewhere between $150 and $600 just for a diagnostic and a system reset that took the mechanic about 4 minutes to perform. What you are about to learn is the exact same process done by you at home, right now, and it works on almost every vehicle built in the last 30 years. Stay with me, because later in this video, I am going to show you exactly which cars this works best on, which specific warning lights it clears, and the one critical mistake people make that turns a free fix into a $1,200 repair. Section 1. What is the reset trick and why does it work? Your car's ECU, that stands for engine control unit, is constantly collecting data. It monitors your oxygen sensors, your fuel trims, your idle speed, your throttle response, and dozens of other systems all at once. Over time, especially after a bad tank of gas, a rough cold start, a dead battery, or even a long stretch of stop-and-go traffic, the ECU stores what are called fault codes. Some of these codes are serious, but a surprising number of them are ghosts, errors the system logged once, under unusual conditions, that never actually represented a real mechanical failure. Those ghost codes are what trigger your check engine light on a perfectly healthy car. They are also what sends people into a panic, straight to a shop, where a technician plugs in a $3,000 scan tool, reads the code, clears it in about 45 seconds, and charges you $120 for the service. The reset trick bypasses all of that. It forces the ECU to wipe its short-term memory, recalibrate its sensors, and start fresh. And in the majority of cases, the warning light goes off and stays off. Section 2. How to do the reset. Step by step. This is where it gets simple. And I mean genuinely simple. First, park your car on a flat surface and turn off the engine completely. Do not leave it in accessory mode. Full off. Next, open the hood and locate your battery. You are going to disconnect the negative terminal. That is the black cable. Loosen the nut with a basic wrench, usually a 10mm, and pull the cable away from the battery post. Tuck it to the side so it cannot accidentally touch the terminal again. Now here is the part most people skip, and skipping it is exactly why the trick fails for them. With the cable disconnected, get into your car and press the brake pedal. Hold it down for about 30 full seconds. What this does is drain any remaining electrical charge stored in the system. It forces a complete, deep reset instead of just a partial one. Without this step, your ECU holds onto a portion of its stored data, and the reset is incomplete. After 30 seconds, release the brake. Walk back to the hood. Wait another 5 minutes. Then reconnect the negative cable, tighten it down, and start the engine. Your car is going to idle a little rough for the first minute or two. That is completely normal. The ECU is relearning. Give it a short drive, around 10 to 15 minutes at varying speeds, and let the system recalibrate on its own. That is the reset. No scan tool, no technician, no $150 diagnostic. Section 3. What warning lights? This actually clears now. Let us talk about what this reset can realistically fix, because this is where things get important. The check engine light is the most common one. A huge percentage of check engine lights on the road right now are caused by nothing more than a stuck fault code or a misfired sensor reading. The reset clears those instantly. The battery or charging system light often appears after a weak battery event and then never turns off even after the battery recovers. The reset fixes this. Throttle response issues, rough idle after a fuel system cleaning, and even some traction control or stability warning lights can all be resolved with a proper ECU reset. But here is where things get expensive if you are not paying attention. There are warning lights you should never try to reset without addressing the root cause first. If your oil pressure light is on, your coolant temperature is spiking, or your transmission warning is flashing, a reset will not fix anything. It will only hide the symptom, and hiding a real mechanical problem can take a $400 fix and turn it into a $3,500 engine replacement or a $2,800 transmission rebuild. The reset trick is powerful, but it is not magic. Know the difference between a ghost code and a real mechanical cry for help. Section 4. The scam mechanics run with your ECU. Here is something that should genuinely make you angry. Walk into almost any chain auto shop with your check engine light on, and you are going to be handed a diagnosis. Sometimes they offer the scan for free. Sometimes they charge you $99 just to plug in the scanner. Then they tell you the code, and then they recommend a repair. Maybe they say it is your oxygen sensor, a $180 part they will install for $420 in labor. Maybe they say it is your mass airflow sensor, another $200 part with a $350 labor charge attached. What they do not tell you is that in many cases they already know the code is a ghost. They know a reset might solve it, but a reset does not make them any money. A parts replacement does. Now, to be fair, there are absolutely situations where those parts genuinely need replacing. A failing oxygen sensor left alone long enough will start causing real fuel system damage, dropping your fuel economy significantly and eventually causing catalytic converter damage that runs anywhere from $900 to $2,500 to repair. But the point is this: before you spend a single dollar at a shop for a check engine light, try the reset. If the light comes back within a few days, now you know it is a real code. Now you go to the shop with information, and that changes everything about how that conversation goes. Section 5. The one mistake that makes this backfire. Most people never realize this until it is too late, and it costs them. After you do the ECU reset, your car enters what is called a not ready state. All the onboard monitors that your vehicle uses to self-check its emission systems need to run through a full drive cycle before they report back as ready. This is almost never a problem for daily driving. But if you are getting your car inspected for emissions within the next few days, you could fail the test. Not because anything is wrong with your car, but because the monitors have not completed their relearning cycle yet. States with emissions testing, and there are quite a few of them, will fail your vehicle automatically if the monitors show not ready. And a failed emissions test means coming back for a re-inspection, possible repairs, and in some states, re-inspection fees that add up fast. The fix is easy. After your reset, drive normally for at least 100 to 150 miles before heading to an emissions station. Highway driving, city driving, a mix of both. Let the system complete its cycle, and you will have no issues. Skip this step, and you could be looking at a $35 to $90 re-inspection fee on top of the stress. Small number, but completely avoidable. Section 6. Which cars respond best, and which ones to watch. The reset trick works across the board on virtually every vehicle with an OBD2 system. That covers every car, truck, and SUV sold in the United States from 1996 onward. Older vehicles, anything pre-1996, use different systems, and the process is slightly different. But if your car was built in the last 3 decades, you are covered. That said, certain vehicles carry extra risks during a battery disconnect. European cars, especially BMWs, Mercedes, and Audis from the 2010s onward, sometimes require a full system reinitiation after a battery disconnect. Things like the power windows, the sunroof, and even the steering angle sensor can lose calibration. On a BMW, a steering angle sensor recalibration at a dealer can run you $150 to $300. Not something you want to surprise yourself with. For European vehicles, the safer alternative is to use a dedicated OBD2 code reader to clear the fault codes without cutting power to the entire system. A decent reader costs about $30 to $80 on its own and pays for itself the first time you use it. and it lets you read the code before you clear it, which is information worth having. Have you ever bought one of these code readers? If you have not, the link in the description gives you a breakdown of which ones are worth the money and which ones to avoid. Mechanics are not all bad. Most of them are skilled professionals doing honest work. But the system they operate inside of is built to make money, not to save you money. And when you walk in uninformed, you become the easiest customer in the room. This reset trick is not a secret. It is not some underground hack. It is basic automotive knowledge that used to be common before cars became complicated enough to intimidate most owners into complete dependence on shops. Know your car. Use this trick before you spend anything. And if the light comes back, then you know you have something worth investigating. You just saved yourself a potential $150 diagnostic fee today. Do not forget it. If this video saved you even $1, do me one favor. Hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it helps more drivers find this information before they waste money they do not have to spend. Drop a comment below and tell me, has a mechanic ever charged you to clear a code that came right back? I read every comment, and I want to hear your story. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another video like this. We cover the tips, the warnings, and the inside knowledge that the industry hopes you never find. Your next video is already waiting for you.